welcome to the deep dive. Today we are cracking open a specific shiny corner of the internet. I'm talking about those mobile gaming apps, the ones promising quick cash prizes. Our mission, well, we're looking at the gap between that promise and, the reality. We're focusing on the Bingo Crown app, thanks to a really detailed review from the YouTube channel X Guide. So this app claims you can win cash instantly just by playing tournaments. Big balances, direct withdrawals to PayPal. Sounds great, right? We're going to give you the shortcut, basically, to understanding the mechanics behind this whole easy money illusion.
Yeah, what's really fascinating here is how finely tuned the system is. It's all about managing expectations. We're not just looking at like bad coding or something simple. We're looking at these operational red flags. They really define the whole business model. Let's maybe start right at the beginning, like the download screen itself.
Okay, let's dig into this then. The source, X Guide, it immediately points out two major warning signs. Things most users probably just scroll right past. First, the app is listed in early access, okay? And second, maybe more importantly, reviews on Google Play are disabled. Why should those flags, why should they matter so much to you, the user?
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, early access is essentially, it's kind of developer loophole. It means the app is technically still in beta, and that drastically lowers the bar for quality control. Developers can operate without fully sticking to the standard store policies, the ones about monetization, quality checks, even how refunds work. It's a mechanism that lets them sort of skirt around a full regulatory review so they can monetize just based on engagement, getting people to play, without really worrying about delivering a functional final product, like, an actual cash payout.
Wow. Okay, that makes the disabled review seem even more, well, sinister. Yeah. It completely removes that feedback loop, doesn't it? Right. So if those are the sort of defensive barriers, then the manipulation of the currency itself, that must be the engine driving the whole thing.
Exactly. Yeah, the UI trickery is, frankly, brilliant in a way. The source makes it really clear. While they display these massive, fancy prize pools, big cash amounts, withdrawal buttons, all in large, attractive font, everything you actually earn when you play. It's just in-game coins. And crucially, they cannot be converted to real cash. Ever. The app shows your accumulated cash balance really prominently, right? It makes you feel like you're actually getting rich. But the true balance, this totally workless coin count, it's often just relegated to a tiny little ticker symbol or hidden on a secondary screen somewhere. That's the core disconnect for the user. You think you're playing for cash, but you're actually just earning these useless coins.
But hang on, if those coins are truly worthless, why bother setting the withdrawal minimum so high? Usually like $100, right? Why not just set it at, I don't know, $1?
Ugh, that's the psychological commitment trap. That's key. Based on the analysis, the app needs to keep you engaged long enough to hit a critical mass of ad views. That's their goal. If the withdrawal minimum were super low, say $1, users would quickly realize the currency is fake, get frustrated, and just abandon the game. By forcing you to grind towards this artificial but seemingly attainable target like $100, they lock you in. You've already invested time, right?
Yeah.
And then the sunk cost fallacy takes over. You feel like you have to keep going.
Right. And the real trick, according to this review, the real clever part, is what happens after you've put in all that time. After you finally hit that magic number. Tell us about that cash out barrier. What actually happens?
Yeah, so once you reach that withdrawal threshold, that $100 or whatever it is, they just introduce impossible new obstacles out of nowhere. You see, you're not actually paying out with money at this point. You're paying out with your attention. The user is suddenly confronted with new requirements, things like watch 50 video ads to verify your account, or play 10 more tournaments, but only under these specific difficult conditions. The math here is pretty cold, really. The goal is 100% user retention, just long enough to force those ad views, because that's what generates consistent revenue for them, and it far, far outweighs the $0 they actually intend to pay out.
So, okay, based on all these mechanisms we've unpacked, the early access, the fake currency, the ad traps, the verdict seems absolutely clear. Bingo Crown is way more hype than actual payout. It functions less like a way to earn income and much more like a time-wasting machine. One specifically designed to just harvest your advertising attention.
And that brings up an important question, doesn't it? What is the true value exchange happening here? Look, the knowledge you gain from understanding this isn't just about this one app, Bingo Crown. It's about understanding a pretty sophisticated and common business model. Understanding these mechanisms, the early access loophole, the UI currency deception, the ad watching traps, it gives you a definitive shortcut. You can use this to evaluate similar apps before you invest even a single second of your time.
That's really the key takeaway for you, the listener. Often the product being sold isn't cash winnings at all. It's your sustained attention to advertising, just cleverly disguised as gameplay.
So our final thought for you to mull over is this. If the entire profitability of an app relies on convincing users they are just about to get paid, and if that app has to disable all public feedback just to keep functioning, what are the unseen operational costs? What's hidden behind that level of systemic deception? Something to think about. Until next time.